I chose to do yin yoga for my wellness practice plan. Um, Implementing it was actually very easy. It's very simple yet powerful physical activity. Um, Sessions can be about 30 to 40 minutes, and that is fairly easy to fit into a schedule. Recording the data, I used a Fitbit 2. I recorded my heart rate before and after. I was quite surprised by how intense the change was. I did not expect such a dramatic raise in heart rate, but that got me to think about yin yoga and how it is a practice where the muscles may not be moving a lot, but they are stretched and forced to hold positions for long periods of time, and they are still working very hard to hold you in some more uncomfortable positions and stretch out. And that did definitely raise my heart rate, and it felt like a workout after. Using the Fitbit to record heart rate was really easy, just strapping it on and then doing the session. I'm not really sure what other measures I would have used, but I feel like heart rate wasn't exactly the most appropriate measure for yin yoga, as it's not such a vigorous physical activity, but I was impressed and surprised by the change in heart rate that I went through during the practice. Most surprisingly, I was very impressed with the cognitive task results before and after and the change in them. I was very shocked actually in how intense the change was and how much more brain power I had afterwards to complete the questions and get more correct. It was very eye-opening to the effects of physical activity on the brain and its ability. I definitely am going to make use of that in the future and maintain a yoga schedule in which that I can increase my cognitive functioning and be able to perform better on even simple tasks. I did notice that the days that I experienced the most intense change in heart rate were also the days that I completed the most intense change in cognitive functioning, meaning that the higher my heart rate, or the more severe the difference between my heart rate before and after, the more questions I was able to complete between the before and after, which was really impressive. I believe that this is most likely due to the increased blood flow within the body and thus increased blood flow to the brain, which allows the brain to function at a higher level, have more nutrients and oxygen in order to achieve more difficult tasks that perhaps it couldn't before. The psychological research that I found to support this was very interesting. It really proved to me that the effect of a physical activity can be very major on your cognitive functioning and your well-being. I found that it really affected mental health and made me have a more clear mindset afterwards. I felt better about myself, a better self-perception, and just feeling good physically helped me to focus on some other tasks maybe that mentally were affecting me. Most interesting to me was during my research on the specific relation between yin yoga and cognitive functioning, I found evidence that supports brain growth after yoga. And this is rooted in the intense connection between the mind and the body that the individual has during yoga, focusing on breathing and feeling through your body. And this creates a stronger perception and connection between your mind and your body. And in this, you're growing more connections to perceive your body and your body's well-being, and you're becoming more aware, which creates more gray matter in your brain, and more neurons, and just more synapses that can focus on this specific new perception that you have. It's also noted in research that because of the focus on breathing techniques in yoga, there is a huge reduction in anxiety before and after and stress reactions. I found this majorly important to me. I had a huge drop in anxiety before and after doing a few sessions of yoga. I felt that focusing on my breathing really trained me to be more aware of my body and be more aware of my stress response to stuff that was coming into my life and to my person. Overall, I found it very beneficial to place specific numbers on before and after of this practice to really give me a tangible feeling of the benefit that it gave, a really hard evidence before and after that showed just how impressive the results were. And I was surprised with that, even with yoga, because of it's not such a vigorous physical activity. I think it was very important and educational to use such an evidence-based approach. Actually taking part in the activities myself and recording the data myself and comparing the before and after really gave me that much more insight to the importance of physical activity and the effects it has on your well-being and your cognitive functioning. And I found it very clear that the results were effective, and this was a very effective means of improving cognitive functioning and well-being. Through research that I explored and through the research that I took part in myself, this clearly illustrated the importance of physical activity and physical exercise on the brain, the well-being, and the body. And I think completing this action plan was very educational and beneficial to my health. Thank you for your time.